What's going on, y'all? It's David or Dawhveed, back with another signature Borderlands 3 build guide. If you know me already, then this might be something new for you since I normally cover a ton of great flak content. Today, I'm actually doing a Zane build that I have dubbed the ZANEstormer Zane, where I use a brainstormer as my main weapon to freeze, electrocute, and eventually just blow through enemies while having near infinite action skill duration. Jumping right into it with the skill tree, I'm just going to cover what I think are the most important skills at work here. Starting with the green tree, I took most of the tanky stuff since I did spec pretty far here, but the cryo skill package of Brain Freeze, Refreshment, and Calm, Cool, and Collected were by far the MVPs. Brain Freeze allows us to slow and eventually freeze enemies once landing critical hits, and with the way that the Brainstormer fires, landing critical hits is a breeze. On top of that, Refreshment gives us a percentage of the damage we deal back as health, which all leads to Calm, Cool, and Collected. A powerful skill where once we freeze an enemies we get shield regen, then once our shield is full we get health regen, then once our health is full, this is the crazy part, we get our action skill cooldowns and durations immediately reset. Yeah, I know, that's completely nuts, right? So to sum it up here, I just took a lot of the tanky buffs and the cryo skill package to have an incredibly safe and immensely self-sustaining build. Moving on to the blue tree, I took what I think are the most important parts of the kill skill package: Violent Speed, Salvation, Death Follows Close, and Donnybrook from the orange tree. Violent Speed buffs our violent momentum damage as well as giving us an easy time to maneuver around our enemies. Salvation helps keep us alive while also helping us sustain our Calm, Cool, and Collected bonus. And finally, Death Follows Close buffs both the duration and effectiveness of all of those skills. Also, Drone Delivery is a very helpful skill here, giving us a way to get grenades out on the field, and I will go over later when I cover the gear why that's so important for this build. Lastly, moving on to the orange tree, I have the main damaging skills here: Synchronicity and Donnybrook from the kill skill package. I also chose to max out Borrowed Time to give me just a little more time to reset my action skills if I need it, and Supersonic Man to give me even more mobility and damage for violent momentum. Here's the full skill tree. For my action skills, I did choose to run both Barrier and Sentinel. For Barrier, I chose All-Rounder and Nanites are some shite for the mods, and for Sentinel, I chose Bad Dose and Static Field. Make sure to pause it here if you need to, because I'm very quickly going to move on to my favorite part of this build, the gear. So my main weapon for this build, the one that makes this the ZANEstormer, is none other than the Brainstormer with the Sentinel Cryo Anointment. This particular gun makes light work of all enemies and gives you near infinite use of your action skills. I definitely prefer the Cash Infused over the redundant prefix for the Brainstormers here. I just don't see that huge of a difference between the two, and the redundant one just eats up ammo way too fast. The only real caveat to the Brainstormer is that against solo enemies it sucks pretty bad since there isn't a target for the tasers to chain between. Because of this, I decided to run one of the best single target damaging guns currently in the game, the Lob. I chose to use a fire damage version because my thought process was, if I have to use this weapon against solo enemies, it's probably because I have killed everyone else around them, meaning that the Brainstormer had to have at least hit this enemy like once or twice to knock off their shields or armor, and if that isn't the case, I can just knock off some of the shield bar with the Brainstormer, or the Cryo Anointment that I have on the Lob as well can take care of the armor. Moving on to my shield of choice, I am actually using a purple shield for this build with the Sentinel Movement Speed Anoint. I was previously using a transformer, but I found the movement on this one to be a little more beneficial. The idea here is just to avoid as much damage as possible to keep your health and shields up, thus giving you an insane amount of movement speed to avoid even more damage, so it's all just like a giant circle of benefits. Alongside my weapons and shield, I have the hidden star of the show, the Cryo Recurring Hex Grenade. Since I have both action skills active, I can't willingly toss grenades out on my own, but thankfully Sentinel can with Drone Delivery. This particular grenade is one of my favorites for this because it has a very high chance to apply cryo to enemies, proccing our cryo skill package to regen our health and shields and action skill durations. Rounding out the last part of my build, I have the infamous Seen Dead class mod paired with an Icebreaker Auto Idol. The class mod is pretty much the best one that you can use on Zane currently because of its innate passive of kill skill activation and kill skill effect bonus. This one that I have also comes with very helpful points into Donnybrook as well as having bonus splash and shock damage. My artifact, the Icebreaker Auto Idol, also has very good stats on it, with bonus mag size, bonus cryo efficiency to help freeze our foes, and bonus shield recharge rate to get your Calm, Cool, and Collected up and running. Although my favorite part here is the artifact itself. Icebreakers buff our damage against frozen targets, which there should be a ton of with this build, and auto idols give us incredible sustain, which is needed for Calm, Cool, and Collected. So here is the entire build all together. The only thing that I have left for you guys is the gameplay functionality, which is actually pretty simple. Activate your action skills and freeze and kill enemies with your Brainstormer. Emphasis on the freeze part because you want to keep your action skill durations up for as long as you can. One thing that I like to do is if my durations are running low but it's only one enemy left, I just shoot off my low damage brainstormer at them until I freeze them, and then once my action skill cooldown durations are all reset, I swap to the lob to finish them off. Hopefully this build was something that you enjoyed. Make sure that if you like this build to go rack attack that thumbs up button on the video, because that really helps my channel out a huge amount. Also, don't forget to leave me a comment on it if you would like to see a full video run on the slaughter shaft or like Malawan takedown or something with this build, or any of my other builds really, or you can just comment whatever you'd like because I do read and reply to every comment across all of my videos. Make sure to come swing by my Discord, which will be linked in the pinned comment below, where my amazing community and I love to talk and just hang out with each other every single day. Lastly, make sure to go gamma burst that subscribe button and notification bell to stay up to date on all of my content, and I will check you all in the next video. See ya!